Good afternoon, well, this is Ivan Amara. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made earlier. I went to the store to cash my cans at the Super C. I made about $24. I was able to get 2 beers and a 25 pack of smokes. That's why I always save my cans. I always save my cans just in case I run out of money, right? But this time I'm not touching my savings. I'm not going to touch it, obviously. Yeah. You're celebrating Christmas tomorrow? Yeah. Tomorrow we're opening the presents. Tomorrow. Over the past couple of years, we've been celebrating Christmas like after you guys, right? Because my oldest brother's working, obviously. He's a police officer, right? He works for the auto police force, so they make him work during the holidays. That's why we always postpone the day for Christmas, obviously. I'll put this plate down here. Don't want it falling down, right? Man, your book is sick. I know it was a masterpiece, man. That's not normal. I know. I know. My book is sick. It's a sick book, my book. It's a sick book, obviously. That's why the gates want to control it, obviously, right? Yeah. Uh, yeah. Are you going over your book, The Ivan? Yeah. I'll go over either today or tomorrow, but I might go over it today. I'm in the end of the story. I have like 10 pages left. I'm done the book. Pretty much done the book, yeah. Walking with the Ancestors and War Becoming King flew by so fast over the past month. I went over it for about like a month and 2 weeks. Flew by so fast, man. I'm already at the end of the book, obviously. Yeah. That's where those 800 pages are gonna fly by, guys, when you read my book, obviously, right? Yeah, 800 pages is long. Yeah, it's long, but trust me, because my book is a masterpiece, those 800 pages are gonna fly by. You're gonna, before you know it, you read you're finished volume 1, then you're finished volume 2, then you're finished volume 3. And before you know it, you're done the book. You're like, holy shit, that's fast. Yeah, it was fast because the story was amazing. Obviously, you were hooked reading it. Yeah, that's why it went by fast. But if the pages flew by so fast, right? You're just in the zone, reading the book. Read it, you're just like hooked during the page for hours. Before you know it, like 300 pages go by. You're like, oh my god, already 300 pages? Yeah, because this is a masterpiece. Binge the whole thing in one day, right? Binge read, right? You can binge read the book in one day. Yeah. Yeah, that brand that Ivan owns the rights to that, man. The Xanus brand's his. He owns the rights to that. That's gonna be more popular than Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Yes, more popular than all those IPs, right? Yeah, man. So even J.K. Rowling was like, shit, oh yeah, she will. Yeah, even though my Harry Potter series is popular, Ivan Zeta's book is more popular than my fucking Harry Potter series. Yes, it is. And it's a better story than my Harry Potter series. Yes, it is. Better story than Harry Potter. I heard the Harry Potter books are really good. I haven't read any of them. I heard they're really good books, obviously. You know, my book's better. There you go. Don't hate him saying yeah. And J.K. Rowling is not the son of God, nor is she the spirit of God. That's why my book is more popular. Because I wrote it, I'm the son of God. That's why my book series is more popular than Harry Potter. It's not just that. It is actually the greatest fantasy story ever told. It's better than J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and J.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and George R. Martin's Game of Thrones. Some Zahar. Ivan, is Game of Thrones more popular than Harry Potter? No, it's not. But the Game of Thrones show is arguably the most popular show ever made in history. That show was very, very popular, Game of Thrones. But it's not as popular as Harry Potter. That's my point, right? Harry Potter is more popular, obviously, than Game of Thrones. Like the show was very popular, but the Harry Potter movies are obviously more popular than the Game of Thrones show, right? They were averaging like $1 billion in the box office. The Harry Potter movies, they were huge hits. Yeah. Zays will beat that, man. Zays more popular than Harry Potter. There you go. Don't want him saying yeah. Be more popular than Harry Potter, man. Samsara. So Xanus is your intellectual property? Yes. Xanus is my IP brand. It's my brand, obviously. I own it. That's why the gates are pissed off, obviously. Because Ivan wrote the book, it's copyrighted, it's his rights. Everything around the world's under our control, we own it. But the book, we don't own it because we didn't write it. Ivan wrote it, that's his rights, and he has the keys, he doesn't have to sell to us. That's Blazer and VJ, and that's why they're pissed off, obviously. Because they know I did it. Obviously. Yeah, Ivan has the keys. He doesn't have to sell to us, man. Which means we can't guard the door on his money, on his brand, because he doesn't have to sell to us. That's why they try their very best to get me to sell, because they know if I sell, it's over. Okay, all we gotta do is just get Ivan to sell. If Ivan sells, which I'm not gonna do, we can guard the door on his money and his career with VJ in Hollywood. No, we're not gonna let them make it blades. We're gonna take all that money and give him the peanuts, but I'm not selling to the gatekeepers, man. I'm not gonna have them destroy my life and do like that, man. No way. The money off the books for me, VJ, it's not for you. There you go. Don't hate it. So, yeah. It's my money, not yours. So, yeah. They make enough money around the world. I don't let those guys take your money, man. They've been making their tens of trillions every year since you were born. So making that money for 33, I don't know, almost 40 years by the time I pay the fee, and now they also want to take your billions out of your money. Don't let those guys take your money out. That's your money. It's not theirs. They know it. It's your money. It's not theirs. That money's for you, BG, obviously. Yeah. 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 Well, Peter Jacksonville gives can tell you it's a master, so yeah, they will. Yeah, man, this is going to be better than By the Way of the Rings. People tell me that, obviously. Like, tell me that. Mel, too. Yeah, this is going to be better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. I guess I'm going to tell me that. Yeah, man, so this is a masterpiece, man. an amazing book. Yeah. Yeah. So they can't stand you being a billionaire with VJ. Yeah, the families can't stand the fact that me and VJ live in that multi-millionaire life. And they also have your relationship. That's why they separate us and they cause the mess. And they lock the doors on us because they envy our wealth, obviously. That's why God gave us the keys. That way they don't dupe us, obviously. So VJ, because she's stupid, she got duped by the gatekeepers. Okay, we dupe VJ. All we gotta do is just dupe Ivan. But Ivan knows we duped his wife. He's not stupid. He knows his father gave him the keys. He's not gonna let us dupe him like that. Yeah, no way. I'm not gonna have you destroy my relationship with my wife, get a garbage Victoria Justice, and share with the world. The world's saved, and you're stealing all my money like that. No way. The billions are the books for me, BJ. It's not for you. You're not touching it. There you go. It's my money, not yours. It's for me and my wife. It's not for you. What are you making up my around the world? You're just greedy, man. Greedy pigs. Yeah. Yeah, I'm envious, man. I don't want you being that rich, man. Yeah, it's a deep envy they have, obviously. It's not just about the control, Ivan. There's a deeper envy behind all that. No, man, they don't want you being a multi-billionaire. They just can't stand the fact of you being a multi-billionaire living that life with VJ. Yeah, I'm envious. I don't want you being small Hollywood when you living that life with VJ, Ivan. It pisses me off. I want you to be under me and then get a garbage life and share with the world, destroy your relationship with your wife. Because they're envious, they're crazy people. So I came with the keys, man, but they won't do me, man. Yeah, because they know with $20 billion, I can build me and Vijay can build our $1 billion house. Like, oh, you guys do the math. How unheard of a $1 billion house is something like Ben Affleck's house in Justice League, man. Like under the water, and he's like, I spent hundreds of millions of dollars in security systems, all stuff in Justice League. When Wonder Woman broke into his house, remember that, guys? Yeah, in Justice League, right? Yeah, we owning a house like that, man. A $1 billion house. They don't want to be living that life. Yeah, I don't want Ivan owning his own like $350 jet, his $1 million house, wearing all those nice clothes and driving all those high end cars. I'm envious. I don't want to live in that life. So I'm moving with Miche and controlling his own money too, obviously for his brand. We want to control that. Yeah, the greedy pigs, gatekeepers. Yeah. Sarah. Yeah. 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 So Sarah. Life will be a public embarrassment in the industry when you release this. Yes, it will. It'll be a public embarrassment in the industry. Yeah. It'll be a public embarrassment in the industry, man. And then, because no author kept the reader entertained and hooked the way Ivan did. And like Ivan's book reads like a movie. The characters just come alive on the page. Like they really, really come alive on a page. Whereas these books that you read, the characters come alive a little bit, but they're a bit dry, more dry, dull, and the book feels a bit more regular and normal. Whereas my book is unique and special, obviously, because what my father's doing the magic when I write. That's why it's a special book. My book, Xanus, obviously, and it will be a public embarrassment in the entertainment industry, Hollywood, and the book publishing industry. That's what I mean, right? It'll be a public embarrassment in the book publishing industry, and it'll be a public embarrassment even in the Hollywood entertainment industry. All the directors and screenwriters and producers are like, holy shit, Ivan wrote this? This is a masterpiece. It's the greatest story ever told. This is better than all our IPs. Yeah, as most movies that come out today in Hollywood, guys, are garbage. They're not that good movies. They're just not. They're not that good movies, right? Yeah, they're entertaining in terms of spectacle, but in terms of story, most of them are garbage. They're not great movies. Like Guns Up with Kevin James was not that great of a movie. The story is not that great of a story, but it's a fun, entertaining movie. But in terms of story, most of it's garbage in Hollywood. Because Hollywood, all they care about now is spectacle. The spectacle is what entertains and puts butts in the seats. Obviously. What's the difference between story and spectacle, Ivan? Spectacle gives you an unheard of viewing experience at the theaters when you watch it or at home, but it doesn't capture your heart, your soul, and your mind. Where story is not necessarily about the cinematic experience. It's more about your inner self. Like did it hit you? Did it hit your mind? Did it hit your soul? Did it hit your heart? Like that's story. It captures your inner self. That's story. Obviously, where spectacle is just about the experience at the theaters. The spectacle, right? That's the difference. Or I'm gonna say, yeah, Ivan, that's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference, obviously. Obviously, because spectacle. The truth is, spectacle is what sells. That's what makes the company's money. Because the even though the story is not as great, the viewers had an amazing, fun experience at the theaters. That's why Hollywood thinks that's what sells and puts butts in the seats. Whereas back in the day, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, Hollywood was not like that. It was not spectacle. It was all about story. Because back then, Hollywood made movies for like $5, $10, $15, $20 million. And they told amazing, great stories. The spectacle is not as good, but the stories are amazing. They capture your inner self. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas nowadays in Hollywood, it's all spectacle. It's all about making money and less about story, more about just giving the fans a good experience at the theaters and making money. That's all Hollywood cares about nowadays, right? That's the truth, right? That's all Hollywood cares about nowadays. It's all spectacle. That's why they make movies for 100, 150, 200, 250 million dollars, $300 million in Hollywood now. It's all spectacle now. And the okay stories, some of them. A lot of the movies that come out in Hollywood are garbage. Like Guns Up was not that great of a movie. That's a garbage movie. It was not that great of a movie. You guys, I'm saying? Yeah. All right, will Zayas be spectacle and story? Both, yeah. Zayas, you're going to have the balance of spectacle and great storytelling, which is very rare in Hollywood today. Usually it leans into one or the other, obviously. More story driven, not as much spectacle. Less story driven, more spectacle. But Zayas will have the balance of both spectacle and also amazing storytelling. write an amazing screenplay, you tell an amazing story. At the same time, you have the spectacle of the world building, the horror, the devils and bats, and the crows, and the amazing war and battle scenes in the movie. So you're going to get that balance of amazing spectacle because of the budget and technology, as well as the amazing story. I'm going to give that balance, obviously. Peter's like, yeah, I mean, you need both. Yeah, you need both. Like, Lord of the Rings is a perfect example of balance with spectacle and great storytelling. Obviously. Some Sarah? Yeah. Like, Matrix 1 is clearly more story-driven, less spectacle. But you do have a little bit of spectacle in the Matrix, obviously, but it's more story-driven. Whereas Reloaded is more spectacle and less story. But yet it did more money in the box office than the Matrix, the first movie. Why? Because spectacle sells more, obviously. It sells more than a movie with a greater story because you're getting a better movie experience with spectacle. But it's not necessarily capturing your heart and your soul and your mind the way a story-driven movie does. You guys see what I'm saying? Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, all right, you're smart. I know my shit, guys. Reloaded did more than the Matrix, guys. Reloaded, I think, $700 million in the box office. Huge hit. Matrix only did $400 million in the box office. I know why. Because Matrix 1 was more story-driven than spectacle. It has a little bit of spectacle, obviously, but it's more story-driven compared to Reloaded, which is less story-driven, more spectacle-driven. And that's why, yeah, I want to see Keanu Reeves kick ass as a 1. That's why it made more money than the Matrix 1. But the Matrix 1 is clearly the better movie. Reloaded, right? In terms of story. But spectacle, Reloaded obviously has better spectacle than the Matrix 1, obviously. Because Keanu Reeves is the one, he's kicking ass. Question, Sarah? It's the more entertaining movie to watch. Reloaded. But Matrix 1 is still the better movie. Because it has a better story. Question, Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. So all the Hollywood actors will be sharp on your story, or yeah, they will. Yeah. And all their agents and managers in Hollywood are like, holy shit, man. Like, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna call their office. I'm gonna get you guys the part. John Vega's agent, Alon Joji's agent, Shimon Su's agent, Andy Serkis' agent. Yeah, don't worry about it, guys. We're gonna get you guys the part. This is a masterpiece. Life and turns this into a movie looking at an amazing story, better than even Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man. You'll be shocked, obviously, about my story. Especially when you read Volume 3. Because you guys, I already spoiled a little bit of Volume 1 and 2 for you guys a little bit. So when you read Volume 1 and 2, yeah, I even spoiled a little bit of Volume 1 and 2 for us. We read these scenes. With Volume 3, you don't have a clue, man. And you read Volume 3, and you're like, holy shit, this is a masterpiece, man. And I want to be a part of this story, man. John Vega's like, holy shit, this blows like my Star Wars sequels out of the water. Yeah, it does. Xanus blows the Star Wars sequel story out of the water. The Star Wars sequel story is a mess. It doesn't make any sense, and it's all over the place. Yeah. Because of The Last Jedi, what mess, obviously, right? Rian Johnson's the one who started everything, man. He split the fan base, man. He's a polarizing director. Very talented director, but he wasn't good for Star Wars. He never should have touched Star Wars. Yeah. Some Sarah? Yeah. Do you have an idea for your book? For your book cover? Yeah, I do. I'll show you guys. I want my book to be red, hardcover. It's a big, thick book, and the 3 volumes are in. Though it's one story told in 3 volumes. Because I'm not selling Xanus as a series into like 3 separate books. No, it's one book. That way it's cheaper. That way you have cheaper printing costs, and I don't charge you guys more, right? Remember that red book I showed you of Lord of the Rings? Yeah, it's like one story told in 3 volumes, and it's all 3 volumes are in the one book. It's easier that way, right? This is my idea for my, yeah, see this? Yeah. My book will be something like this, guys. Okay, see this? I want my book to be something like this. And I might have a clip or two. You see that? That's beautiful, I know. That's my idea for my book. Feels like history, like the Bible. Yeah, I'm gonna show the book cover artist for my book this picture here. It's something like that, and I'm gonna have a clipper on it, and it says "The Last Four Zanes" by Ivan Ameri, edited by whoever edited my book, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Obviously, we'll say Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. And you have the title. That's beautiful. I know. I'm gonna want a beautiful book cover like that, man. It's fucking nice. That's beautiful. I know. Beautiful cover, man, for my book. That's why I'm getting the print. That's why a lot of fans will get the print. Yeah, I want that beautiful print edition, like that beautiful like book, like the Bible. Looks like the Bible, and it's a beautiful like book, man. I want to get the print, but the print's expensive. It's $80. That's why if you don't want to pay the $80, you can pay your $22. You can read the ebook on your laptop. Who do you think will buy the print? The rich. Not all the rich will buy the print. Some rich people will even buy the ebook, probably, because a lot of people want to read it right away. But the only people who will buy the print are the rich and the book nerds. Book nerds like having a print collection in their apartment, in their house, so they're gonna buy the print, the beautiful print edition. Whereas the rest of the world who don't really care about reading books, they're most likely gonna buy the ebook. Yeah, I don't feel like paying $80. I want to read this right away. I'll just pay $22 and I read the ebook on my laptop. So Sarah, pay your $22, you can read the ebook on your laptop. That's a good deal for you guys, right? If you don't want to pay the $80, you pay your $22. $20 is a bit steep for ebook. Yeah, guys, but I have to make profit, guys. I need to make my profit, don't I? Yeah, I'm not gonna sell my ebook for $7. I'm being stupid. I won't make much profit. No, I'm selling it for like $22, which is affordable for you guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's affordable for the world, obviously, right? If you don't want to pay the $80, you can pay the cheap $22, which is like $27 after taxes. That's affordable, obviously, right? For the world, obviously, you can afford that. Yeah, if you don't want to pay the $80 for the book, obviously. Whereas for the rich, $80 is pocket change. They can easily afford it. People who make a couple $100,000 a year to the millions, they can easily afford to pay $80 for the book. That's pocket change, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Peach Ivy, that's a beautiful print. I know that's my idea for my print. I'm gonna show my book cover designer that picture. Alright, what's your idea? Okay, I want trees, golden inscriptions with trees and up. The one up are beautiful, the one down look cursed, which represents my world in the north and the south. In the middle it says the last one for Xanus by Ivan O'Mara. Edited by whoever has my book. And you write down volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. Yeah. Yeah. You have all titles for your book, Ivan? Yeah, I do. Volume 1 is called The Prince's Journey. Volume 2 is called The Sword of Truth and the Great Exodus. And Volume 3 is called The War in the North, The Time of the Ancestors. War in the North, The Time of the Ancestors. Those are my 3 titles for my 3 volumes. Those are good titles, obviously, for my book. Here's Ivan. That's a good title for your book. Yeah, it's a good title for my book, Peter. Yeah. Some Sarah. Yeah. So Tacius saves the Saladins from the devils. Yes. Not all of them, but he saves them from the devils, obviously. That's why it's a masterpiece, obviously. Yeah. Tacius left the walls to avenge his father's death, but that wasn't really that's not really the plot of the story. It's a bait and switch. Fate brought him there to get the Southerns out of Aratat's kingdom, the Devil Wolf's kingdom, obviously, and they get to live with him in his heavenly kingdom. That's part of the reason why Tacius said no generation is lucky this one here. In all these generations, never has this happened before. But when Tacius the First talks about the lucky generation, he's mainly talking about the Northerns living in Xanus, but the Southerns have a part to play, obviously. Tacius saved the Southerns from Aratat and the Devil Wolves. Obviously, when they come to mark the lands. But they have to go through the bats in the caverns, and not all of them make it, obviously. But some of them get to make it and see his heavenly kingdom. That's why it's a lucky generation. And there's more to the story when you've gone through. I almost spoiled Scorpius and Sarah. He was like, yeah, I mean, looking at a master's eye. Fate brought him there to save the Souls or the Devil Wolves, and they have his heavenly kingdom. I'm like, yeah, but he's like, holy shit, this is Bread of the Rings. Nobody's Bread of the Rings. Masterpiece, man. Yeah. By the death of you, Saladin, should you see his face, stand in his presence. How frightening is it really? By the death of you, Saladin. He was like, yeah, I've been looking at our master's man now. By the death of you, Saladin. Oh, but yeah, Peter. And I was like, this is Bread of the Rings. Nobody's Bread of the Rings. Yeah. Emma. Yeah. So Peter Jackson among this will tell you to math, well, yeah, they will. He was like, yeah, I mean, your prologue is already a masterpiece. That's a beautiful start to your story. And the young tactics story is amazing, Ivan. Like even your banquet hall scenes will be entertaining, Ivan. Yeah, like Return of the King when Legolas and Gimli played that drinking game. Yeah, you have beautiful banquet hall scenes like that, party celebration. Yeah, Peter's like, yeah, Ivan, you're looking at something better than the Rings, Ivan. I know, Peter. Ivan, that's a beautiful start to your young tactics story. You know what I'm saying? Like Queen Sarah's in her throne with her sisters, Anne and Labia, and a civilian is like, come in, I want to speak to the queen. I want to come and speak to the queen. You know what I'm saying? They talk about there've been some complaints. Yeah, Peter's like, yeah, are you looking at a masterpiece, Ivan? Yeah, this is better than the Rings. That'll be better than the Rings, a masterpiece, man. There've been some complaints from folks that your two children have been causing unwanted trouble, so to say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got a sick movie. Well, you'll be adding stuff to the scenes. Of course I will. I'll follow the story, but I'll be adding and like changing some of the dialogue, adding more stuff in the scene to make it more interesting. Yeah. Like I'm gonna add a scene Young Tactics where the Eagles tell Tactics and them stories of like the past Eagles and the past and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They tell Tactics and Tacitonians some stories. You know. Because they tell them stories. I'm like, yeah, because we can add that. Yeah, you're a genius. I know that's interesting. I know, Peter or Mel, right? Yeah. I know Anne and Labia major characters. No, they're not. You only see them in the prologue in Young Tactics, and that's it. Obviously, as you guys read the scene about Tactius' aunts. Honestly, the crows. That's almost I was supposed to for you. Goes, if I don't want to read the book, I was supposed to for you. You guys already read the spoiler, right? I was supposed to for you. Yeah. Are Anne and Labia royalty, Ivan? Yeah, they are. They're of the royal family. They're the sisters of Sarah. They're Sarah's sisters. Labia is Cassius's mother, so she's an older woman. She's an elderly woman. So in the movie, Labia will be like a woman who looks like in like her 80s, maybe 75, 80. And Anne is a little bit. Labia is the oldest sister. Well, I don't really describe it in the book, but Labia is obviously the oldest, obviously. And then Anne is second oldest, and then Queen Sarah is third oldest. Sarah is Tactius' mother, Anne is Tacitonius' mother, and Labia is Cassius' mother, as you guys read in the book. And they're all of the royal family. But they're not the heirs. Sarah is the heir. Sarah is Queen of Xanus. And Tactius comes from her. And Tactius is the heir to the Xanian throne. Tacitonius and Cassius are not the heirs, but they're part of the royal family. You'll see what I mean when you read the book, as you guys read it, right? They're royalty too, in the sense that they're of the royal family. They live in the castle. The great wealth and status hasn't passed down to Tacitonius and Cassius too, but not the kind of like wealth and status passed down to Tactius. Tactius is the Prince of Xanus. Guys, I'm saying, Peter's like, yeah, you're looking at our masters, I know. The royal family. I'm like, yeah, Peter, relax, calm down. I know you're blind by your movie, Peter. Relax, calm down. All right, this is Lord of the Rings. I know Peter's Lord of the Rings. I'm saying, relax, Peter, calm down, chill. He's a nerd, Peter. I'm sorry. I can't wait for this movie. I know, Peter, relax, calm down. You know what I'm saying? He's a nerd, Peter. But I was like, I can't wait for this movie. I know, but I'll calm down, relax. I know you guys are excited. Yeah, you gave me under the budget. You signed me to a mega deal. Like, I can do whatever I want to do for this movie. I mean, like, amazing battle scenes, world building, set building, cautious armor, weapons, the mask, unheard of horror. This is unlimited budget for extras. I can't wait for this movie. This is Lord of the Rings. I know he's Lord of the Rings. Masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you tell Peter Mel Gibson that you want, yeah, I'm like, guys, I want the majority of this budget going towards special effects and visual effects. That's the most important thing, right? But I'm gonna make sure I put a lot of money towards the other stuff too, like 150 million towards extras, 400, like 10 million is going towards salaries, and like 250 million is going towards building all the costumes, armor, and the weapons and the masks, design the masks. And I'll put a good maybe 70 million towards building sets. Yeah, I'll still have maybe 150, 100 million over in the budget after everything's paid for. And if I do, I'm gonna take a good chunk of that and put more of that towards special effects, obviously. So if I have 100 million left over after we film the 3 movies, I'll tell Peter, okay, take a good like 60 million, or tell Mel, if I choose Mel, take a good 60 million of that and put it to more of it towards special effects. That way the movie's even better. Okay, Ivan. And the $30 million, I have to save that because you have the world tour. I have to pay for that. You have to fly all the Hollywood actors in for the party, for the red card event party. That all costs money. That $30 million I won't touch. It's going towards the world tour, even though it's more than enough and all that stuff, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Because you have to cover the actors' traveling expenses, living expenses, feeding expenses, and transportation expenses for the world tour. You can't have to pay for that, right? You have to cover that. Yeah. If you want to get a drink of beer downstairs with your co-stars and get clothes for your girlfriend or your wife or your kids, that's your own money. I'm not paying for you guys, but remember that, right? Everything else is paid for. Don't hate them, son. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. All those other guys. Yeah. So you're gonna see the life behind the walls in the north. Yeah, volume one, you're gonna see the life behind the walls in the north in Xanus. So Tactius and Suetonius are training in the Xanian arts. They're living that amazing life in the heavenly northern kingdom, Xanus, obviously. Think something like Rivendell, maybe. It's not like Rivendell, but it'll be something. It looks beautiful like Rivendell. That's my point, right? John and Ali are gonna have to draw those pictures, man. Because I don't describe what the lands are like in my book. My world building in my book, even though it's amazing, it's vague, which is good because it gives John Allen Lee so many ideas to play around with for the world. Yeah, you have to tell John Allen Lee, yeah, I want Xanus to feel like a heavenly northern kingdom. kind of like Rivendell, but don't copy Rivendell. Make it original, but it has a okay. I want you to draw pictures for the castle, the courtyard where the people gather, the stadium for the horse race, the sectors where the people live, the gardens, the wall. Okay, I see what you're saying. Then John Allen, you have to draw those pictures. They have to draw pictures of the South and Barack. It's a lot of work, man. And they end up designing. My guys, I want a world more beautiful than Lord of the Rings. Okay, Ivan. And I want the caverns to look better than even Moria. Peter Jackson's Moria and his Fellowship. Okay, Ivan, and they draw pictures and they create a beautiful world, man. John Ali for your movie, man. I'll pay them a good 250K as my concert artists. That's a good paycheck for those guys. They don't make that in Hollywood. You probably make like $80,000 in Hollywood, right? Those guys, right? Yeah. Obviously, John Ali are going to be my conceptual artists, obviously. Then me, Peter, or Mel Gibson will look at the pictures during the concert meetings. Because Ivan, this is fun. I love it when they built the world. They draw the demonic characters too. What air them are look like they're devils. That's why the concert meetings will be fun. That's the most fun, obviously. The concert meetings is more fun than writing the screenplay. Screenplay is work. It's still fun writing the screenplay too. Because Ivan, this is fun. I know, Peter. Relax, calm down. I'm saying, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to show them that Chromecast picture. I'm thinking something like that for the Veiling of the North. I was like, yeah, I was just saying. You want a beautiful like that? Yeah, guys. Yeah. And John and Ali are going to design a beautiful world for your movie, Ivan. A lot of work. They're going to be drawing hundreds of pictures. The whirlpool thing. They even have to design what the weapons look like, what Tacti's sword looks like, what the armor looks like, what kind of clothes does Tacti's all them wear in the north. Think of like rich clothing, because they're rich and they're the royal family. What do the Safians and the Syrians wear? Yeah. What do the wolves look like? The bats look like? The crows look like? The eagles? And the lands in the south, and the forests of Galathia, the mountain of Gilead in the south. The Gilead Caverns. Yeah. The Gilead Mountains. Yeah. Yeah, Peter's like, yeah, Ivan, man, like looking at a bird with the rings on. I know, Peter, relax, calm down. Yeah. Yeah. So John and Ali are very important. Yeah, John and Ali are the foundation for my movie. Because they're the ones who are building the world through the conceptual arts, right? Through the concept arts. Because all the construction workers are going to be building the sets based off John Howell Lee's drawings. All the costume designers are going to be designing the costumes based off John Howell Lee's drawings. All the mask designers who are going to be designing the prosthetic masks for Eretan demonic characters are designing it based off John Howell Lee's concept arts. That's why they're very important, obviously. Some sour. Well, you only have those two. Yeah, like John and Ali are enough. I don't need any more people, right? Peter Jackson told me, yeah, Ivan, John and Ali are enough for your concert arts. Just have those two guys draw the pictures. That's enough, Ivan. And we have our concert art meetings in the afternoon after lunch. And Peter will let them know what pictures he likes, what pictures he doesn't like. Me and VJ, again, will let them know what pictures we like, what pictures we don't like. For the characters, for the wobbling, for the cautions, for the weapons, for the armor, for the masks. What do the demonic characters look like? That will be the most interesting. The demonic characters, what will they look like? And I showed John Ali, I want Eretan looking something like this, but don't copy this. Make it original. But I want him two and a half, 3 times scarier than this. I want Ephesus looking like that Perry Stone picture, that Demon Bat, or that Delving in Annabelle, except scarier than this. And don't copy it. Make it original. Okay, Ivan. You want us to push it to the limit. Yeah, push it to the limit, guys, with the horror. Make them as scary as you can possibly make them be. Yeah. Peter's like, Ivan, that's a bit too scary for the kids. I'm like, Peter, don't play that game, man. You turn me into a porn star, I shut you for good, man. No, man, I want Eretan to be devils. I want to tell powerful story. I know I'm doing. That way the world's hooked, man. They feel for us. I know I'm doing it. It's a powerful story. There you go. Sarah. VJ's like, Ivan, this is fun. I know, VJ, it's fun. I'm saying. VJ's all happy because she's now boss with me. She owns a company with me. We signed that mega deal with Amazon together. She's like, yeah, Ivan, I can't wait to be a part of this story. We play the role of Lydia, Ivan. I know you're looking at something like the Bible, Ivan. This is like bringing the Bible to life. I know it is, like bringing the Bible to life. Like an amazing movie, man. That's why I might go for Mel. I might choose Peter. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's the greatest fans novel written and the greatest movies ever made. Anyways, guys, it was real. Oh, you guys enjoyed the show. This is I'm signing off. Peace. Happy holidays, guys, and Happy New Year's.